Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing our first full spoiler review for the first episode in the second part of The Walking Dead's final season, Season 11. Alright, and spoiler warning if you still haven't seen this episode yet for The Walking Dead Season 11. So episode 9, No Other Way. Want to thank you all for your patience and waiting for this review. Most people had said they're still watching Walking Dead on cable. So we went ahead and did like a non-spoiler review after the AMC premiere, which is the week early. And now we're going to release the full spoiler review where we can actually go through the events of the episode and actually talk about what happens in it. So we have one of the best episodes here with No Other Way that I think we've had in quite a while. It seems like a lot of the best episodes of Walking Dead for some reason have no in the title, like No Sanctuary, No Way Out, and this one was No Other Way. I was watching this one through, been doing some kind of Rick videos with you guys lately, last couple of months, looking forward to the movies and everything, and there was a point in this one when I actually said to myself, like, Rick who? I think it was when Aaron jumps through and smashes in slow-mo with his missing hand. One of the walkers heads in, which was so freaking cool, man. There was so many awesome scenes in this one, so maybe we'll get out of the way first the stuff that happens with Judith and Gracie, Rosita, Aaron, and all the others at Alexandria. So we continue with where we left off at the end of episode 8, at the end of the first part, with them kind of stuck. So you have some of them that are kind of jammed at the stairs with a whole bunch of zombies everywhere, and Rosita and the others are kind of killing them down. And then you have Gracie and Judith in the basement with the water all flooding in, and they get into some trouble as some of the walkers start to kind of barge in the door. And everything kind of fall down. They kill one of them or what have you, and then they kind of lose the sword. And there's some really cool parts in this one where you get to see underwater. You get to see some of the walkers underwater, and you just get kind of the awesome save from Aaron when he busts in and does some slow-mo kills, which were super sick. I mean, the way that visually The Walking Dead looks in this episode, it has been on a long time, so we got to keep in mind this is the 12th. This is the 12th season for Walking Dead at this point with the extended seasons and whatnot. But, comparing the quality of something like that in the slow-mo to what a walker kill would be cool, would look like in season 4 or 3 or something. It was just so, the visuals were just so amazing in comparison to what we used to get to see for Walking Dead. It's just wow. And even to some of the blow-up scenes where you had the weapon that Leah had shot off. Somebody told me the name of it, but I've forgotten the name of it. Where are they fireworks or what is some kind of explosive there? And some of them get stuck in the walkers. I think they showed it at the Super Bowl commercial where some of them, the bolts would get stuck in the walkers and then blow up. And then Maggie's fighting one of the different Reapers and he actually gets stuck with it too and explodes everywhere in a million freaking pieces. Just some incredible, action sequences and just some incredible effects and just awesome visuals. Definitely, I think we can say that The Walking Dead, compared this season in terms of just the visuals, it has clearly never looked better. Now, so on from the stuff at Alexandria to the awesome stuff with Maggie, with Negan, with Daryl, with Leah, with Carver, who's kind of a bit of a standout in this one for me as a villain. You just get some awesome scenes in this, and then also the unfortunate finding of Alden, which surprised me a lot to see when Maggie goes to check on him, that he is in fact a walker at this point. He got into it looks like, with one of the Reapers there, and maybe they kind of killed each other at some point here, or whatever happened in that exchange. They both ended up being zombified once Maggie got there. So, unfortunately, that was a sad scene to see. But even as a walker, he wasn't very, intimidating or anything like that. He didn't make for a really scary, fearsome walker. I just mostly felt really sad for him when we got to see him. But in my mind, when I was watching it through, it did say, well, Trev, this is right at the end of the show, right? We only have 15 episodes left after this episode, so you got to have some in there, right? So this was kind of a big one because he was brought into the show, I want to say, back in like season, oh man, it was a long time ago. It was probably like season what? When did he show up first? Was it like season 7, season 6, somewhere on there? I want to say like something like season 7 or around that time. So he's been in The Walking Dead for a long time. Getting to see him as a walker in this one was really, really sad. And also was interesting for Maggie because a lot of us had predicted that we thought maybe we could see a relationship between Maggie and Alden in that he kind of in some ways, a lot of people felt like he was like the comic book version of Dante. In the comic book series of The Walking Dead, Maggie has a relationship with Dante. And so a lot of us thought that maybe Alden would fill that role. I think he even got some of Dante's lines in prior seasons and whatnot. And so a lot of us just felt like maybe he would fit into that position and be a partner for Maggie, be a romantic interest for Maggie. And obviously, at this point, that's definitely not happening. And there's a lot of really incredible fight sequences at the Reaper's location there. We get to see probably the best one with Carver in that you have Elijah, you have Maggie, and you have Negan. So we got to see some of this in the trailer where Carver's kind of chasing after Maggie, and then Negan comes out. It's kind of like turns out to be sort of like a little bit of a trap, and so you get to see this awesome kind of hallway fight with Carver and Maggie. So it's kind of like a 3-on-1, but we end up finding out in this one that Carver is probably the best fighter the Reapers have. Not probably, I would say he is definitely the best fighter that the Reapers have. You can see why he survived all this time up until now, and you can imagine that he probably has a lot of experience fighting against different people. So this one was a standout for me from the episode to get to see this fight sequence, because I think he was, aside from Leah and Pope, he's like the other notable Reaper that's in and amongst there, and one of the ones that's kind of like the most trouble of all of them, I want to say. But I thought about this one right away, and I actually kind of predicted in my mind as I was watching it what Negan was going to do. Almost right away, it seemed like, okay, the three of them, even though right away it seemed like they had the advantage against Carver, you start to see that, no, they're not even going to be able to basically touch him. He's too fast, and he's a really skilled fighter and everything. And so right away I thought, oh, Negan will fight dirty, because it's just like perfectly within character for him. And so we see him grab the bell and the sand and something like that. For some reason, I knew it right away. I was like, oh, he's gonna throw sand in his eye. I just knew it right away. I was like, if you can't beat him, fair and square, you're gonna have to cheat. And who's the perfect person out of the three to cheat? It's gonna be Negan. So Negan takes a minute. The others are getting kind of beaten down, and he takes the sand, throws sand in his eyes, and then they finish off Carver. And before they kill him, we have Daryl, who kind of intervenes and says, no, keep him. He's going to be more useful alive than dead. We also have another interaction, this one, which I found to be very interesting, which was Gabriel finally coming face-to-face with their clergyman, with their preacher, pastor, whatever the case, whatever he is. And it really cool, because you get to see Gabriel against him, and he refuses to fight Gabriel. He even, maybe I'd say, is so foolish as to, put his knife down, basically, and allow Gabriel kind of to kill him. But there are some really great scenes in here, or at least great lines in here with this one, in that he kind of calls Gabriel out, that Gabriel is no longer in contact with with the Most High, or he's no longer, he's lost his faith, he's lost that part of himself, and the other preacher can almost see it right away that is the case. Now, we don't know if if that preacher prior has done heinous things as some of the Reapers have, where they would roll over these other groups and kill people associated with them, possibly even kids, people like this. So we don't know. I think we can assume he probably was not involved with that. At least it seemed like that to me. But I really liked how he kind of called Gabriel out in this one, even though he still has the gear on and everything, so he can tell. But he can also tell that he has lost his faith. So I'm wondering, going forward, if this might take some kind of a toll on Gabriel for what he had to do here, and that he had somebody who did basically disarm themselves and did surrender, and he did not take their surrender. He ended up Gabriel ends up killing him in this one. So I feel kind of very sad for Gabriel in this one, and just the way this one plays through. I thought it was fitting. I thought it made sense based on the situation, but I just thought it was really cool the way it just kind of like it called Gabriel out on having changed so much, but kind of being in this place of darkness where he no longer is in maybe in contact with what's right, with what's good or what's moral at this point. So, expecting to see more of that maybe later on, and how that will play in Gabriel's mind later on this season, possibly. So really great stuff for him. And he comes in really nicely. I like what they do with him with kind of the sniper, position. And kind of it, I think the name was Jensen, that Leah calls out for, and then we find out that nope, no Jensen here. Gabriel had taken him out and is in position instead. So getting into the stuff with kind of the face-off in the episode, which is like the most, probably the most exciting part of the episode, very intense, thrilling part in this episode is where we have Maggie, Elijah, and Daryl. They have captured Carver and Negan, and they've captured Carver, and Daryl is trying to broker a deal here with Leah that, basically to surrender. And at first she refuses to do so, thinking she has the rifleman, so thinking that she has the upper hand. Finding out she does not, and that's actually Gabriel. He's taken out the Jensen, or the person who's there, and set up rifle instead. She ends up, I guess they kind of have to surrender. They're in a position where maybe they could try to run for it or something, but at that moment. But very unexpected stuff happening here. So you have Carver, who's basically there. Daryl's got him, what have you. They sort of broker a deal. They make a deal, whatever. And you have Maggie basically tell them that they have to leave Carver, and then it's okay. And so they do, and as they're walking away, you sort of have a callback to the conversation that Maggie has earlier this season with Negan, where Negan says that if he could have done it again, he would have, governor style, killed them all. And so this is a kind of a turning point for Maggie, it seems, and it looks like Negan agrees as well too. In a very surprising scene, you have Leah and a couple other Reapers who have agreed to the deal and decide to walk off. And instead, Maggie says, no, that's not happening, even though Daryl kind of is clearly against it and almost wants to stop her to do it. She takes a gun, shoots the two males that are with Leah, killing them, and then she actually shoots and actually hits Leah in the arm, which is seems like kind of a superficial wound, so Leah is able to still kind of get away. Daryl sort of tracks her down, knows where she is, but Daryl can't bring himself to do anything like that and wouldn't want to capture her and bring her back because, of what he's just seen Maggie do, where she's brokered a deal, she's made a deal, and then she's gone back on it right away in an untrustworthy way. However, she does harbor resentment towards the Reapers in this group because of what happened with her group before when they had everything set up and were taken over by Pope and the others. So she gets her revenge, and the influence of Negan has made her decide that no, she's not going to accept their leave, and she's going to basically hunt them down. However, Leah does escape. Leah gets away, kind of thanks to Daryl, I want to say. So that's what happens with that. And from the trailer for this second part of the season, it does look like we will be seeing her again because we can see Leah in the trailer. She's wearing different attire, which means that likely she's going to be returning or she's going to be coming back. Possibly a big setup here for her as a villain against Maggie. So not necessarily for Daryl. It seems like Daryl's in a position now where he would no longer see Leah as a possible romantic partner or anything like that, and that the divide between them is permanent, and that maybe we have a nice setup for Leah here as a villain for Maggie. When it's all said and done, we have Negan, who unfortunately, this part sucks, right? Leaves, decides that it's time for him to go. It's time for him to leave. He now believes that even though he's kind of brokered a deal with Maggie, that they are good after Negan helps her with this. He just, as he's seen her go back on her, word right away with the Reapers, he just is not going to be able to trust her. Even though I kind of felt like, from my perspective viewing it, he actually probably could trust her at this point. But maybe being in the situation, being in that scenario as Negan, just seeing how vicious Maggie can be, even after she's given someone her word and made a deal, Negan decides that now is the time. It's best case scenario for him to leave and head out. That would be the safest thing for him to do. Plus, nobody there really likes Negan anyway. If you look back to the start of season 11 when they're traveling and everything like that, everybody's against him. Nobody likes him. He didn't save Maggie when he could have earlier. And so for him at this point, he has maybe paid his dues to Maggie in his mind. He's done he's done something right to make right what he did before with Glenn and Abraham. And so now he decides he's going to go ahead and leave. So this one is really unfortunate for us who are fans of Negan. We don't know if we're going to be seeing him back at some point this season or before the series ends. Certainly, I would hope to see him before the series ends, 100%. I think we will see him. I think he'll probably have an episode or two here and there, in this part, or if maybe not in the second part. If not, definitely in the third part, I would think we'll catch up with him before the series is over, definitely. Even if it's like just a couple scenes or something, so we know where he's at and he's gone off on his own. It is similar to what happens with him in the comics. He does kind of go off on his own as the comics kind of wind down. So, him being kind of an outsider definitely makes sense for Negan. And we'll see. I'll predict that I think before the series ends, we will see Negan again. We might even see him again in part 2. But definitely this is kind of it's sad to see him leave, but he's paid his dues. He's done his part. Now he's going to go. And hopefully we'll see him back again this part. But if not, I'm sure we'll see him at least once or twice in the third part before the series is actually over. Not sure if JDM was supposed to stay on longer or something, maybe had another show. I know he's in talks for The Boys Season 3, so he may have had another show or something he had to do, not sure. Or maybe that's just what they planned with him because he got a lot of time in the first part, and now they're setting up something kind of different in the second part, so it makes sense for him not to be there for that. We do also get quite the strange kind of time skip, which goes, is it 6 months ahead, and you have Daryl in the Commonwealth gear where he takes off his helmet to reveal to Maggie that it's kind of an order that she has to allow them into what appears to be the hilltop. So it looks like Maggie is going to rebuild the hilltop in this time, which definitely makes sense. Because that was kind of like her group and her community. Is it such that Maggie is not willing to join the Commonwealth, and now they're starting to get a bit more forceful with her? It kind of seems like that, but it's weird to see Daryl be the one to go out and him be the one to have to actually enforce that on her if she doesn't want to, if her and her group that she has doesn't want to join the Commonwealth. It's very strange to see Daryl put in the position where he has to do that. I am thinking it's kind of like just an exciting setup thing, and that once Maggie knows it's Daryl, she'll be like, oh, okay, whatever, come on in, whatever, because she's going to trust Daryl, obviously. So maybe it just kind of looks like that in the scene, and that's not actually what they're setting up to. But really cool stuff. The Walking Dead feels, to me anyway, it feels way different this season than what we're kind of used to. I think it looks different than it did a few years ago and what I'm used to Walking Dead looking. Like if you look at this season's episodes where they're underneath and they're in the tunnel and everything like that, movie quality stuff, the addition of more slow-mo, which they've used a little bit before, like with Michonne and stuff, as she's hacking up walkers and stuff. But I feel like visually it looks better than ever in this episode. Even improved from like the first part. Definitely improved from season 10, I'd have to say. So whatever they've done to kind of step up their game, visually change the look of it, It's really, really impressive. And that's what I was saying to some viewers in the comments right after I did the non-spoiler review, is that it's so sad to see The Walking Dead end at this point because it's still so good. And that's the thing about it. Like, you bring an episode like this, and you're going to tell me that this show's getting canceled? It's like, it's not really canceled. They have plans for the movie. They have other ideas and whatnot, and it is a big deal to do this. But definitely, when the series is over here at the end of this year, I'm definitely going to miss seeing episodes like this, because episodes like this are what really set The Walking Dead apart, really make it very exciting, getting to see some of these things that are just some awesome battles and whatnot like that, Too Far Gone-esque type of stuff, and No Sanctuary-esque, No Way Out type of stuff. And even though some of our favorite characters are no longer in the show, like a Rick and a Michonne or others that have been killed off at this point, I think that getting to see the scene with Aaron in this one, and Maggie as well too, really put you in a spot where if the series was to continue, you can really set up some impressive new leads, or ones that are just as much fun to follow, just because it makes them look so awesome, right? You make Maggie look super badass in this episode. Aaron as well too, same thing. And then we did get to see Daryl reunited with Connie as well, and kind of returning back to Alexandria as they're burning all the walker bodies, and we see the Commonwealth kind of stroll in. You got Eugene there, who's basically told. Eugene's ratted, right? So Lance and the others, again, very different. The way Lance looks, the way the others look, very different from before. So this is a premiere episode for the second part. I have to give it a 10 out of 10, perfect 10 out of 10. It's insanely impressive. It's, like I said, it's so good, it's almost beyond belief that the show is not going to be on anymore after this year. It's like, you got, okay, I hope you do something with this team. Like, Kang, the others, I hope you do something with them, because I just would love to see episodes like this, even if you have new characters or whatever. If it's like this good, this well done, then definitely it can work, regardless of who your lead is, who you have, whatever. Definitely would be worth watching, and hope that we see more stuff with Negan this season, and if not much more, then hopefully in a spin-off Tales or something else they can do with. So the episode covers tons of ground. The Reapers are defeated. Very surprising to see already. I didn't expect to see the Reapers defeated this time. If you guys watched my predictions video, you know that I thought they were going to be in most of the second part, and actually, they're defeated right now. Like Maggie and the others run through them in this one episode. Very surprising, and also some awesome setup for Commonwealth, Daryl, all the other stuff that's going to be happening, Carol and everybody. Really, really great stuff. And I don't think I mentioned the Daryl versus the Reaper scene, which was really cool too. So awesome fight. But it is kind of sad to see this love interest for Daryl, and that obviously that's not going to be, I think his name was Austin, is that right? That's not going to be a thing, definitely not. So maybe Connie, maybe Carol, like some people like, or maybe they'll just never do that with Daryl. That's it for this, spoiler review now, guys. Let me know what you thought. I think this is the best episode Season 11 has had so far. Amazing stuff. And I hope that when we get to like the final episodes of The Walking Dead, we have at least one or two just like this at the very end, maybe with some other character reuniting, Michonne comes back, something like that. And it's just some great tie-up parts. But I also wonder how much content are they going to have for the next 15 episodes, because they did the whole Reaper thing in this one episode. I really expected to see them survive on longer, but Leah's still out there somewhere, so she could come back as a threat later on for Maggie and the others. Let me know what you guys think. Leave your comments below. If you like this review, please thumb it up below. Please subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do at the bottom. And thank you guys for everything. I'll see you back again soon for maybe a live stream or another video soon. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.